Sup my dudes, Valkyrja, and today, as kind of like my first Tower Fantasy videos, a Tower Fantasy channel, I want to talk about Tower Fantasy is dying. I've seen a lot of the Genshin Doom posters inside the comments basically saying Tower Fantasy is dying because they can see these Google trends. They can go, oh man, Tower Fantasy was at a high, and now it's dipping down. Does not look good for Tower Fantasy. Especially whenever you compare it to Genshin, who recently got Sumeru out. We pull up Genshin Impact past 30 days worldwide. You can see Genshin Impact right here, or why is it? Well, basically, Tower Fantasy, and then Genshin Impact. You can see right there, Genshin is now surpassing Tower Fantasy on Google Trends. I guess if you just type in Genshin, it'd probably give you a better result, because most people just search up Genshin rather than that. Yeah, here we go. Better result. You can see right here, Genshin is way, way higher than Tower Fantasy. Shocker, I don't think that shocks anybody. And then if just for giggles, if we add TOF, you can see TOF is way down here. People don't really use TOF as a search term, so it's not very good. So everyone's saying, oh man, Tower Fantasy, the play rate is going way, way down. Well, one, if you ever expected Tower Fantasy to immediately reach the level of Genshin, which I think, given time, it could potentially. It depends on how the devs handle it. But if you ever expected to immediately reach the level of Genshin is basically a worldwide phenomenon. It is a very much so an outlier in the growth of any game, then that's pretty insane. Like, you're kind of smoking something. But, for example, if we compare it to another very popular game that is very recent, Multiverses. Add Multiverses to the mix. Multiverses is way down here, not even being mentioned. I believe Fortnite would pass them, Minecraft is more popular, but you get the idea. TOF being more popular than Multiverses to me is huge. Multiverses is a very massive game, and TOF is also, you guys got to understand the scale of what we're talking about here. TOF is a very popular game. It is. It's not to the scale of Genshin. Like I said, with due time it could grow, but it depends on the devs. Well, now what a lot of people are looking at right now is the Google trend of it going down. I hate to tell you, but all games do that. For example, if we look at Genshin. Genshin right now, this is the very first year of Genshin. September comes out, Genshin just massively popular, skyrockets. And then within a month, it's just plummeting. Plummeting. And it takes over a month for it to actually come back up with a new big update, that update being 1.2. I imagine we can check the time. This is around the time 1.1 came out. This is around the time 1.2 came out. People are saying Tower Fantasy is dying, and it hasn't even had its first major update yet, which is going to give it a spike. It'll spike, it'll dip, it'll spike, it'll dip, and it will keep doing that. And eventually it's going to be just like Genshin, to the point where Genshin, if we go within the past 12 months, is going to spike, dip, spike, dip, spike, dip, and it's going to follow a very noticeable trend. I don't think it'll be as popular as Genshin. It's up to the devs, really, to be able to actually compete with Genshin, but I don't think it'll ever be that popular. But as far as dying goes, hell no. This game is going places. Whether you like it or not, whether the Genshin fanboys like it or not, I don't know. Because I've seen so many people say this game is dying, and you guys are just absolutely smoking something. I don't know what, but it's just following natural trends right now. Here's the other thing. Tower Fantasy's global revenue exceeds 34 million USD within the first 2 weeks. Now, I know within the first 2 weeks, I believe Genshin made 100 million USD, so that gives you a metric as far as income goes, but you gotta remember, Genshin is a massive outlier. Genshin exploded. Genshin is, I don't think that Tower Fantasy will ever be actual, like, competing with Genshin. It is competing, it is somewhat competition, but I don't think it's ever gonna be overtaking Genshin in terms of popularity, but you can see where basically Tower Fantasy is doing extremely well for its sake. 34 million USD is more than most gacha games make in a single year. And also, the game set a record for the highest revenue growth rate in Japan within the first 2 weeks. Made the most money in Japan ever, from what I can see. And the largest portion of revenue comes from Japan, which accounts for 42%, and US was second place for 18%. So for once, the US is heavily contributing something, but it's mostly Japan carrying us by basically spending all their money. So yeah, Tower Fantasy sees massive growth cycles, and I haven't even brought in the Tower Fantasy 2.0, which looks phenomenal, by the way. So much content comes with 2.0 whenever it actually comes. We get Vera, we get the Battle Royale, we get 8-man raids, we get all sorts of really, really cool stuff that's going to come. More game modes, more content, etc. And it looks really, really damn cool. And it's something that's going to come in the future that's going to boost the player base even more. So, Tower Fantasy is far, 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 far from dying, and hopefully this video clears it up for everybody so you guys understand how natural trends work within video games, and basically how this trend is going to go. Tower Fantasy is going to see a big boost, its first major update, whether that's 1.1, 2.0, I don't know. No matter what they're going to do, they're going to see a massive boost. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully this has been a little bit informational for you guys, so you guys can see natural trends, and we can kind of squash this bug that Tower Fantasy is dying, because it's definitely not true, and you guys understand exactly how this game's going to go. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.